What's up, everybody? Wasn't planning on doing this video, just kind of because I've already kind of got it torn apart, but I will go over what I've already done to it. It says a 95 F150, got 302, has the 8.8 rear end in it and all that good stuff. And we started taking this rear differential apart, just kind of look to see what we could find in here, and did find like the broken set pin for the cross shaft pin. Oh, forgot to pick this up. It's on the ground. That's your C-clips to hold your axles in. Okay, so to get you to this part right here to where we're at now, first take your wheels off. I didn't. I just left my hubs and axles all in together. You can do it this way. It's perfectly fine. I've done it numerous times just to save a little time if you will, but if you do it correctly, just take your wheels off, take your drum off on either side so you can get to it. Pull your cover. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolts hold this in. Take all the 9 around here, leave this center one, pop the cap, and let it drain out. You can see it down there. Then when you get to this point, this braking bolt I showed you should be like sitting in here like this. Just screws in. There we go. So it just sits in there like that, screwed all the way in there. See it? This right here is a 5/16, but you screw that out, then you can push this cross shaft pin out right here. Once you do that, push your axle in, and these C-clips will fall out. Just do one at a time. And mine just fell out, hit the ground. I'll clean all this out as we're doing it. But we're at this point now. Nose is itching, but we're at this point now. I'm gonna go ahead and start filming it so y'all can watch it now. But I do have to get a punch, and what I'm gonna do is put one tick mark right here, and then probably put one over here on the side of the case, and put 2 right here and 2 on this side. That way I know that they go up that way. And then it's got these little arrows, don't know how well y'all can see them. Those point towards the wheels, excuse me, those point towards the wheels. And I believe this is a 373 gear set. It's 13 and 43, but the arrows point out, and make sure you put them the right way. Just remember, this side has the, looks like a 7, number 7 and a 6 right here up, and that's got the 3TA I think it is, yeah, 3TA right there. That points up, but we'll put the tick mark so we know that that's up and that the arrows go out. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll start pulling the bolts off and make sure that we don't move or lose anything. Put 2 inside the cap on this side, 2 on the outside on the case, 1 mark on the cap, and then 1 mark right there on the case. These are 19s that hold these in. Leave that top one a little loose. Set these right here in front of y'all for a second. Never taken the differential apart. She is not the best smelling, I will say that. So right there. Now be careful. This, yeah, she's already wanting to come out on us. That's a good and a bad thing. Just be careful. Setting them around y'all. Now there's going to be some shims. Make sure you put these back in the correct side. I'm just going to put them up here on which side they come out. And if you notice that they're kind of cut a specific way, the taper goes towards the outside, towards the tires. Be careful, make sure you hold this. It's got a little weight, nothing crazy. So the reason we're taking this apart, we're changing the tone ring on this actually. And I'm gonna check the sensor. Sensor looks fine. Drain plug, or fill plug right here. Looks fine. And should be good. I'm just gonna set the caps back on the correct side and the correct way it goes. Just enough to hold for the time being. And let me do this side. You can even use a number punch and punch 1 and 2 or 8 and 9, however you want to do it. Just make some kind of mark so you know which way to go and which cap goes where. That right there is a big deal because they are machined surfaces and they need to go back to their mating surface. Now, we're just going to check everything in here, make sure there's no big chunks in here, no gritty stuff, and always wear gloves with this because this stuff does stink. I don't feel anything, doesn't look like abnormally worn or any of that stuff. I'm gonna check the pinion bearing. Ooh, yeah, she's got a lot of play in her. Look at that. I may end up having to actually rebuild this pretty much with all new bearings, so this might be a longer video than I thought it was going to be. Alright, now I'm going to shake the back of it. See that? How much that moves. Yeah, let me go tell the car lot guy, because this is a truck on his car lot he's trying to sell. And I'm probably just going to go ahead and do carrier bearings, pinion bearings, a new crush washer. You know, it may even go ahead and do axle seals and axle bearings while we're in it. I'll see what he wants to do, but yeah, this is pretty good. It's pretty worn out. So let me do that, and then we'll have to set up for everything, get some get my gauges and all this stuff set up whenever we get ready to reinstall everything. So let me go tell him. So after talking to him, we'll come to the conclusion we're going to go ahead and do a full rebuild kit on this. So what that includes is basically front and rear pinion gear bearings. Comes with the crush sleeve, the pinion seal, the nut, all new bolts for your ring gear, which are on the back of this, carrier bearings, and marking compounds, shims, and the nut for the pinion as well. So it's pretty much just a full rebuild kit, which is good. That's what we're going to kind of need. And I know he's got to see about getting that right there as well. I think he forgot to order that, so we'll have to get that out to get that coming as well. And then we'll put all new fluid in it. But my next step is to go ahead and pull this pinion gear out. And the way we're going to do this, we got to drop the drive shaft. To drop the drive shaft, it should just be 4 bolts. It should be 12-point bolts right here. And I'm going to go ahead and line up and put some kind of paint mark or something on here, so we line it back up with the same spot on the flange. I know it's going to be different, and it can be totally different when it comes to putting it back together because we're putting all new stuff in here, but still I'm just going to leave it lined up to where it was originally. But you're going to have 4 of these. I do not know what size those are. I'm going to guess probably 12.12s or 13 millimeters. But I'm going to break those loose, and then we'll knock this down. Then there should be a big nut back here. We'll take that off first, and you're more likely going to have to hammer off on the flange to get it to come off. So go ahead, let me go ahead and grab some tools, paint marker and stuff like that, so I can get everything marked up. Got all 4 of the bolts out, and these right here were 12 millimeters, and you can see the paint markers I put right there and right there. That way I put 2 locations in case one rubs off, and you always want to do 2 or more just to be safe like that. It's just good practice. Set y'all up a little bit. Right there should be good. I got a pry bar right here. Just kind of pry it off. And now, I can probably really see it better now. Oh yeah, she's moving a lot. Should not have any play like that. And I do not know what size that nut is. Let me grab a socket and try to figure it out. I'm guessing 24. 27. Let's see if I got enough battery power to zip this off. Come on. It was coming, but the battery was about dead. One more again, I got a new battery in it. There we go. There's your nut. Set it up here. And I'm gonna grab the hammer. And we're gonna tap it. There we go. Now we can. Oh, the pinion bearing just fell right off on the front. Normally they don't do it that way. Normally you have to kind of get a punch and drive on the end of the pinion for it to really like come off of there. So we know that this pinion bearing is shot, at least the outer pinion bearing anyway. Let me show y'all. Walk y'all around. But yeah, it should not be coming out this easy. Look at that. There is your crush washer. Here is your inner bearing, and look at that sucker. I don't know how well y'all can see those pits. Focus. There's pits all in these bearings. The race don't feel bad, but the bearing feels awful. See if we can pop this seal out. Sometimes you can pop them out. Where was I? Alright, so got the flange off. Move some stuff from around my feet. And I'm using just a pry bar. Sometimes you can use this and pop right out. This one might not do it. It's starting to come. Let me set y'all back up. Like I was saying, just use a pry bar. Sometimes you can yank these things right out, but this one is really in there. Starting to. There it goes. That way you can just yank it out without hitting it and possibly damaging that surface. Man, I know it don't really make a difference, but I just try to mess it up as little as possible. Here is your outer bearing. Do not throw that away. That is your oil slinger. this is your bearing. Those two up there. And now inside of here, take y'all back down. I don't know how well y'all can see. Inside here, there's a race right there, and then deeper in the back, I know y'all can't see on this side, you might be able to see it better if I bring you on the other side. There's another race right there. That one, the one I said felt good first time. Those two races, they will have to come out as well, and what you'll do is you'll just use a punch, and you'll come in this way to get the outer, then you'll come in through the other side and get the inner, and you'll just use a punch and tap it, and it should pop right out. I'll show you what kind of punches I'll be using. Like I said, that's just the whole axle shaft with the drum still attached to it and the wheel. It's just kind of how I like to do these drum brake ones. They're pretty easy. I don't know why that is in there, but we have this punch set right here, and one of them, I think it is, that ain't it, but one of them's in here somewhere. Missing one. Yeah, it ain't a big deal. I'll have to get another one if I need that one. But you see how long those are? What I'll probably do is try to use maybe this one and just tap it out. Just use a hammer. You may have to use a decent size hammer to do this. I don't know how tight these will be in there, so I'll just use my bigger snap-on. We're going to try to go ahead and get y'all set up so y'all can kind of watch me knock out one of these. So I'm coming in this way. Hit it. And the drive shaft is right away. Uno. And we need one more. Actually going to take the bearing cage off first, and we're going to clip top of one and then top of another. I normally go about 2 down, get about 3 bearings on this first one, and you can kind of fold it back down. Those bearings out. Then I can clip that bottom on the cage, and then we can normally just pull and they'll come off.
Hey, you running two breezes?
Now we got cage off. We're just going to zip out these bolts. Should be 10 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 19 millimeters. Our kit comes with new bolts. Not just gonna fall off. Most time they don't, I should say. may have to pry and wiggle and all this stuff. Maybe hit it with a rubber mallet a couple times, and then it should fall down. I'm gonna see if I can put y'all where it doesn't really shake y'all, because this table is pretty flimsy. Got this bearing race on this side off. Now I'm going to get this one. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to cut it with like a cutoff wheel, and then I'm going to use a hammer and a chisel, break the rest of it once I get pretty much 90% of the way through it, and then I just use that chisel and knock it off. You can see how we cut it. I just use this chisel to hit down inside the crack, and then it split it, and now I'm just using this chisel, putting it like this and just hammering it here, and then on the opposite side it's going back and forth until it walks it off. And I about got it off now. No, one thing I forgot to tell y'all was how I got the ring gear off. I actually used my big punch right here and just put it down inside of the holes where the bolts go, and I just tapped around each one of them, just went around it probably about 10 or 15 times, and then it broke loose. And then I'll flip it over. And there we go. Now, all we gotta do is just wait on the new parts to get here, and I'm just gonna clean up everything and get it all clean, and clean out the differential and all that stuff, and just get it prepared and have it ready to put everything back together.